All right, let's see if you can hear me. Hopefully that part's working. It seems to be. I need a sip of coffee after that. Fun times. Welcome, everybody, to Frost Written on the right channel. At the right time-ish. We're pretty close. Yay, woo! So, in case anybody was doubting me, because there were a couple people who were like, yeah, I don't believe you. This is jalapeno hot sauce. This is a cup of coffee. I don't know if you can see the coffee in there. Coffee. This is me going blorp. Spoon. And I stir it up. And then I drink it. There you go. Here's your wizard ASMR for the day. Maybe the decade. Something like that. Gross. No, not gross. Amazing. It's such a nice bite to the coffee. Rawr. So anyway, yes, welcome to Frost Written. We're on the right channel. We're doing the things. We're going to be doing some creature lore today. After Erudi was inspired during the last session. He wrote a whole bunch of stuff up for creatures, just boom, right then. So decided we'll do some creature lore writing on this stream. So one of the creatures we're going to be going over today is the thing we kind of teased a little bit last time, the Rudy Poo that he came up with. Yeah, get ready, Chrysanth. Get ready. Hold on to your pedals, your mums, your everything. Just hold on to all the things. All right, let's see if I can find these little dudes. Da-da-da. That's all the hairless kennel stuff. Ooh. Okay, speaking of gross, we're gonna go over this creature. It's interesting. We'll just say that. Now, if you guys remember, Erudi wrote this up while we were on the other stream, and he wrote like 8 paragraphs of info on this in the time that we were just doing a little bit of stuff. So he banged some stuff out, which was great. So, all right, I'm gonna get over to my other chat here too, so I can actually see that. You see mouth moving, but we don't understand. So, Shadow Warden, are you saying that you don't understand me? Or are you saying you can't hear anything I'm saying and I've been talking this whole time? Roots. No. Rudy Poos. Rudipoos. So, I get it, Shadow Warden. You're being funny. Not the best joke you've ever done, but it's not bad. So, Rudy Poos. They're called the Skittish Spewers. I'll say that again. Skittish Spewers. Ew. So, Rudy Poos inhabit the damp and dark places of the world, thriving in environments where their natural skittishness can be somewhat mitigated. These creatures are most commonly found in dense forests, cavernous undergrowth, and occasionally in abandoned ruins of old structures where shadows play tricks and sounds echo strangely. Their preference for such locations makes encounters with travelers and adventurers frequent and often inconvenient, as their startling shrieks can echo through corridors or across forest floors. It happens to some guys. Physiology. The Rudy Poo boasts an unusual appearance, a peculiar blend between a naked mole rat and a frog. It is the elongated, almost hairless body of a mole rat, complete with sensitive whiskers and a squinting gaze, combined with the moist, mottled skin and wide-set, blind eyes and powerful legs of a frog. This creature's small size and unassuming look belies its ability to cause chaos when frightened. It moves on all fours, but can leap distances when agitated, adding to its unpredictable nature. Now, I'm not sure how much Erudi wants me to go into this, so I'm not going to share the text, but I'm going to read this all out. Yes! Let your hate flow! Hey, look at everyone, Desert Fox. All right. Behavior and society of these little things. Rudipoos are solitary by nature, primarily due to their extreme timidity. They are famously frightened by almost everything. The snap of a twig, an unexpected shadow, or even the rustle of leaves can send them into a panic. When startled, a Rudipoo will emit a piercing shriek that can be heard miles around, followed by the expulsion. Yes, I'm going to read this without being too grossed out. Followed by the expulsion of a white, sticky substance that they spew in a 20-foot radius. Substance is both defense mechanism and a nuisance, slowing down and potentially blinding any nearby creatures, including unsuspecting travelers. Yep. It just gets better. It gets better, Crescent. You're just going to love the rest of this. Abilities and powers. Going to slap that man. Well, you're going to have to catch him first. He's probably already on the run. Abilities and powers. The primary defense mechanism of the Rudipoo is its ability to spew a viscous, white, sticky substance when threatened. Substance can adhere to skin, fur, and clothing, drastically reducing the mobility of anything it touches and potentially blinding creatures by sticking to their faces. This ability makes the Rudipoo a troublesome encounter for adventurers and travelers, particularly because their startle response is so easily triggered. That's it. I want my money back. Nice. It looks like a giant. I don't think so. Hopefully. Stay awake in your meeting, Kyle. Stay awake. Do it. Slap yourself. Have some hot sauce coffee. Their role in nature. So he did put them in a nature role. They're part of the ecosystem. In the ecosystem, Rudipoos are scavengers, subsisting mainly on dead or decaying matter that they find within their habitats. This diet allows them to fulfill a vital role in the decomposition process, breaking down organic material and returning nutrients to the soil. Their presence in diverse environments helps maintain the ecological balance by preventing the building up of decomposing materials. I'm saying I don't think I want to think about it, no Boy. That's what I'm saying. Playing 4 DC characters from different universes. I played Drunken Rogue Fighter based on bad moves, narcissistic personality disorder. Oh, man. Lore and myths of the Rudipoo. Travelers' tales often include warnings about the Rudipoo, not because they're dangerous predators, but because an encounter with one can lead to messy and blinding situations. Some local legends suggest that Rudipoos were once the experiments of a forgotten alchemist seeking to create a creature that could produce glue. These stories are often told in jest, but they underline the creature's reputation as an accidental saboteur of journeys and expeditions. In some cultures, encountering a Rudipoo is considered a test of patience and resilience, teaching travelers to move quietly and calmly through nature to avoid unwanted entanglements. Conclusion? While not formidable in the traditional sense, the Rudipoo is a unique creature that embodies the unpredictable elements of wilderness exploration. Its role as both a decomposer in the ecosystem and an accidental antagonist in the path of adventure makes it a memorable part of any journey through its native territories. The Rudipoo reminds all who travel the world quieter, darker places to tread lightly and expect the unexpected, for even the smallest creatures can create the largest disruptions. See, it got better, didn't it? Really? Better, better, and better all the way through? No? And it's over, Michaela. That's the Rudipoo. Luckily, there is no art for it. Left to the imagination. Eco-literacy is about what I expect. Nice. So, yeah, there's that. Aren't you happy? All right, let me send a message. All right, so I'm going to check here. Move this over here so I don't have that message in my face anymore. All right, I have the right one up here. I don't want to imagine exactly. No, Zacko Boy. No. I'm pretty sure these things are shaped like a water skin. Water skin? A walking water skin? No? Maybe not. Yeah, so there we go. There's Erudi when he's not making dragons. Exactly. So the other thing that he had sent me was a bunch of info on the hairless Kinnel, because that is a creature. It is a corrupted version of the normal Kinnel. and they're undead. They are gross. They're not very smart. They try to outwit travelers with riddles that make very little sense and everyone can figure out pretty easily. They overestimate their own intelligence, and they get really mad when somebody guesses their riddles. So, you tell me what that's all about. It's totally beyond my comprehension. But the other creature that we're going to be playing around with today, I'm going to be doing a few things at once, are the Kinnels, the actual fey creatures that the hairless Kinnels were corrupted from. I'm going to be doing some work on the coastal wormlings, the things we talked about in the... Let's see, it was a few sessions ago when we did the talk about the caustic strand, where people were getting all the minerals and there were the little annoying dragonling things out there. Those things are going to be talked about. And then the other thing we might, if we get to it, is the Chrysanthosaurus. Adorable, curly-headed little Chrysanthosaurus. Ryan is going to kill him. Yeah, he might. I mean, I couldn't find the piece of art, the hairless Kinnel, the fat little hairless cat with Ryan's face on it, but I'm probably okay not having that. McDonald's burrito monstrosity. Yeah, well. There we go. All right, so the Kinnels, I don't have any art for what the Kinnels look like. I don't have a lot of conception for what the Kinnels look like. But basically, the Kinnels were mischievous little creatures that reside in the Fae. And I am giving them some characteristics kind of like normal cats, but like a Fae version of a cat. Where they like to be in the sunny, the warm, the brighter, happier parts of the Fae. They like napping. They prefer to play and live near sources of magic. And they also drape themselves rather carelessly across almost any surface that anyone else is currently showing an interest in. Since we all know cats, that is what cats love to do. They're like, you like it? I'm there. Trying to fit themselves into things, those sort of things. But they're also mischievous because they're somewhat, intelligent, but mischievous in a mischievous way. A pleasant, non-necromantic way. Let's put it that way. Come here for the Chrysanthosaurus, Steve, because the old guy. Well, that's because you can't leave, because as Michaela knows, my voice will put you to sleep eventually. Sleep. All right. So, another thing about them... Where was he? There was another note he had about the... Oh, nope, I can put that there. We're going to put this down into the lore and myths. I gotta look at that note too. I got a note about something we were chatting over. Let's see. I just made sure that Erudi knew, because I'm not sure if he's in the chat right now, that you were both grossed out by the Rudy Poos. So, mission successful. We got him. Yeah, judgy cats. Well, it'd be interesting to have them be a little patron animal of Kika. I'm gonna make a note. Go. Oops. Kika. I see a lot of flashing out of the corner of my good eye here. That must be Daxi. All right, there we go. Hey, look at Daxi. Okay. So, where was this note? I was looking for a note on this thing. There we go. All right. You had to mute the stream. It was so bad. Nice. I mean, wait. No. It's all done now, though. You're good. You're good to go. Ish. I'll try not to bring him up again. What, are you going to ignore that page in the monster tome? Is that what you're telling me? Just wait until he sends a whole horde of them after you. You feel so seen, Daxi. Very nice. Hey, it's not bad for a mostly blind guy seeing the motion over there and being like, hey, there's a lot of motion. It's got to be Daxi. And it was Daxi. All right. So, Kinnels... Rip it out and burn it. Hey, there you go. Yeah, well, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I had notes off to the side saying, so if somebody could get a hold of that stuff, if it's like spiderweb, material, like that goopy stuff, or like that, what's his name, the creepy spider dude from The Boys, I can't remember what his name was, some arachnid dude who had a hole in his lower back where the stuff came out. Yeah, if you get a hold of that, or if you could capture one of those things and throw it at someone, like a football grenade, like you said, flam. Silk, yes, Silk. What do you think it is? What? Where's your mind? Or if you're old enough, I don't think they make them like this anymore, but if you're old enough to know way back in the day, golf balls that used to have the compressed liquid core of whatever that stuff was in it, because my brothers, when we were little, and this was in the 70s, decided they were going to put one in a vise and use a chisel and a hammer to get into the center of the golf ball to see what was in it, and it shot that stuff everywhere, the resin or whatever the hell it was in there, and they didn't get in their eyes, luckily, but that's some nasty stuff in there. Oof. Not good stuff. And Daxi, never say splorsh again. That's just wrong. I don't know if that's a Britishism, but it sounds horrible. I'm mentioning for the Kinnels that they gravitate towards things that interest their immediate interest, or pique their immediate interest, like magical effects, special things like warmth or movement that's not too startling. But I think it'd be fun too if you attract these, because I put in here that they love sounds and music and stuff, and they will entrance whoever is like, hey, you're doing a thing I like. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Why did you fall asleep? And woe to be like a musician that they are, they come into the world and they find a musician making music. They're like, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. And they fell asleep, or they fell over. So they want what they want until they're bored with it. But that might be a sure way to try and get a Kindle to ignore you is by being very boring, just sitting there doing nothing, trying to be as boring as possible. The trouble would come when you try to move again. Yes, we did used to play chicken with lawn darts. Yep, you are not wrong. When lawn darts were actually lawn darts with the steel tip. Yep. We'd have to stand there, and the circle was under our feet, and we were usually either straddling it, or we were slightly behind it, or right in front of it, and you'd get a chance. You'd throw a dart, and you could do this. But that was it. Can't tell you how many times I got hit in the knees, the thighs, the shins with a lawn dart. Got caught right here once. It just went bonk off my head, though. It didn't really do anything because my brother completely missed. But, yep. I mean, we also used to fire bottle rockets at each other, so. When they were a gladiatorial event, exactly. I don't know if splorsh is my moist, Daxie. It's just a strange sound to make. I don't like it. Roman candle fights. Pew pew pew. Always safe. Let's see. So liking music and all that stuff is cool. Did I just get a message? I did. Okay. All right. I think we're going to be doing a few things with the abilities and the powers of the Kindles, because I think they should probably have some kind of a healing effect. If you sit with them long enough, they can do some kind of a rested bonus or something like that. I'm going to fix this. Let's move this over. There we go. That be, what's the wording for it? Well, I can let Erudi come up with the actual wording, the tech reasoning for this. Did I respond to your previous question already? The splorsh or moist? Yeah, I already did that. I said I wasn't sure if it was really splorsh is a moist, but it's a disturbing sound. Disturbing sound to make. Oops, but I put a key in here. Boom, restorative. We'll go with the word minor. And removing. Yeah, so those lingerie pillow fights are brutal. What are you, Jello Wrestling? What are we talking about again? Just got here. Exactly, Geno Fury. Yes, we're just talking about pillow fights. Yeah, so right now I have it that their purrs can basically do they're melodious little purrs. They can actually, it's like a minor, like a lesser restoration. It's I said a restorative effect because I don't know what which spells he's going to be doing. Can heal possible minor wounds like scratches and stuff, small things like if they inflicted any scratches. But it can remove negative effects the people may be suffering from. So basically like lesser restoration, yes. I don't know if they're discussing cat girls. That's what Gino Fury over in YouTube is talking about. I think that's what he's thinking. I don't know. He was just, I think he went off on a tangent here. Because these kennels are just fake kitty cat things. I wonder, I guess I'll have to ask Erudi if they can actually speak like the hairless kennel. Let me actually wait. Let me check this once. Let me go back to. There we go. Okay. Okay, there's some. Okay. Okay, there we go. What's a good word for this? Let's see. How do I want to phrase this? Because I think I'll put in here that they can speak, but the way they speak is kind of like an impatient person, a little whimsical, and somebody who's not really focusing on the now. Oh, that's going to be funny. Okay, here. Maybe this will be, I don't know if this will be annoying and offensive or fun, but I'm saying that basically while they can speak, they're impatient, whimsical, and are time blind. And I don't mean they're late to things. It means they just kind of perceive things differently. So they often speak in a manner that people find confusing because they may be using the wrong tense when they speak. They may be using, a different person, like third person, first person. They could be talking about themselves, someone else. They could be confusing, what happened already or what's going to happen or what they think happened or what's going to happen. I think that could make them interesting and unique. That's a good, yeah, B. I don't think B is in the word communication, is it? Speaks Creole. Yeah, that's what we're saying, yeah. Okay, there you go. Can you imagine a whole bunch of little fake hats speaking Creole? Oh, God. My guy that didn't speak a lick of English got arrested a while back. I do not know the story, Brian C. If you find it, DM it to me on Discord. He would have May yet collide with that lamppost. Yes. I've run a few characters before that people are talking to that are not exactly time blind, but they're trying to not say things because they keep talking about things in their time and other times. And it really, it's fun to confuse the players a little bit, but it's also fun to give them little hints and things, because that person that showed up to a guy who is famously the sign of a god in this character, in this universe, and he has, doesn't have a wife or anything, or he can't have progeny. And when this person showed up, they're all like, oh, who is this girl? And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And she basically comes up to him and hugs him around the waist and says, hello, father. And he was just completely like, what? And, she's a grown girl. And he's like, I don't have any children. She's like, nope, not yet. So they had a lot of fun with her. She ended up being a very beloved character by the group because she was so damn confusing. Writer juice. This is coffee with hot sauce. So, writer juice? Sure. It's not laudanum and it's not port. Though I have both right here. I mean, I have port right here. That's what I'm saying. Port. And Crescent, I looked at this port. This was not the expensive bottle of port I got. I think this one was only like $23, $24. But it's really good port. So, not the expensive one. I forgot we drank that. The expensive one we drank at Christmas. That expensive bottle was like $130. And that was not it. Coffee and hot sauce is a new thing. It's so fetch. No? Discworld? I have not. I have not. I couldn't quite get into Discworld. I started reading Discworld and I was like, okay, it's a different kind of strangeness. All right, let's see. Seem to understand subconsciously. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was really good, even though Tomix made me drink a whole cup of it. I'm gonna have to put that thing behind a paywall and do some other fun stuff for all his channel points. Here's some better wounds. Okay, why is that? Okay, there, it didn't want to work. Oops. Could have asked for a bottle of Starboard then. Wah, wah. Wow. Wow. Are you guys trying to either kill Chrysant, or are you trying to turn her totally against you? I don't know. I'm not really... Yeah, there's a lot of story sets, and I tried to watch City Watch or read City Watch, and it was just too silly for me. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of really silly fantasy. I liked it when I was a teenager. I loved Xanth. I loved the Spellsinger series. I loved there was another series in there too. Crap, what's the other one? Split Infinity had some of that same stuff. I like my fantasy a little more serious these days. That's me. That's just me, though. Pumpkin will survive. Yeah, I've heard about Pumpkin. I watched a couple people who were doing reviews on it. They're like, I laughed until I almost peed myself. And I was like, huh, I didn't laugh once. And I like humor. It's just not my type of humor, I guess. But that's okay. It's got an audience. It's just not me. I like my fantasy with a bit of hot sauce. Chrysanthe is perpetually angry. We're just trying to enjoy her raging. Is she really angry all the time, or is she only angry when you're around? There could be two reasons for that. One could be she's always angry. One could be that you're saying, the things you say when you're around. I'll let you figure it out. You guys debate. Is she eternally angry? Is she just a volcano of rage? Or are you guys throwing rocks into the lava? Oh, wait, that would mean she's a volcano of rage all the time. Just potential rage. Oh, potential rage. There we go. You like to make her mad? I've had a couple people recommend the Saga of the Seven Sons, and I have it on a list, actually, specifically. Because it's a space opera. She's short-tempered. Wow. Well, she's angry even with me being silent. Wow. All right, Kennels. So the other thing I'm giving them, and I'll talk to Erudi about this. We'll see if, because the hairless Kennels have these long dagger-like little fingers. I'm thinking that the Kennel, or the hairless Kennels have those. The Kennels could still have, like the nice silvery whiskers, so they kind of look like, a fey version of a cat. But they also have like little opposable thumbs, so their paws don't have the little paw thing like this. They have like a little opposable claw thumb, so they can do opposable paw things, that should make everybody who owns a cat terrified. I'm angry with all of you all the time. Shadow Warden. See, she confirmed my statement. Atomics, it's like when you hold the child back by putting your hand on their head and they can't reach you. Wow. She's not angry, she's just squinting. Wow. Wow. All right, so the Kennels can vary widely in color and markings, but they're most often compared to large house cats, excepting the silvery whiskers and nearly opposable thumbs they all possess. You pause her idea. All right, there you go. She just couldn't see without her glasses all along. Wow. Wow. All right. I just realized I was like, I should make sure that I'm holding the right thing up here. There we go. All right, very markings. Something silvery whiskers, nearly opposable thumbs. They'll possess their overly large eyes, belie their okay appearance. If they wish, they can make themselves appear as a normal house cat. Okay. I'm going to say prefer instead of all this. That's a clunky sentence. I'm going to have to rewrite that sentence, but I got the idea down. The day we stop teasing will be a lonely one. No, you can't do that here. Ha! No channel point removing my glasses while I'm trying to write stuff. Oh, I think. You think? Well, Chrysanth, I don't know. I think maybe you just stepped into the Kool-Aid zone. They got you to drink the Kool-Aid. Now you're part of the cult. Do you believe they care? They're just going to ask you to give all your worldly possessions to them, and your credit cards, and your house, and everything that you own, and your fig trees. Death counter will be a doozy. Yeah. You know, there should be in the game, you should be able to have a way to use, if he's using Streamlabs, you should be able to just set a death counter up with a text file, and you could just edit the text file as you go. If you have access to that, as long as it's looking at the right text file, it should be able to grab it. He might need to be able to doing that. I'm not sure if you'd be able to put it on his stream as a mod. I don't know. Because you should be able to set because what I did in my stream is I actually have a chat command that the mod can use to actually increment the file that the death counter goes to, and you can just do +1 and it'll go bloop. One of us. Hey, Elemental MJ. Hey, King Dark Dave. Well, don't drink the suspicious Kool-Aid. It has hot. Everything has hot sauce in it here, but that was Daxy's Kool-Aid. It wasn't my Kool-Aid. Not my fig trees. I don't want your American things, your American house in America. Hey, Daxy, you should go, if you have YouTube, Instagram, I don't know where the guy is. There's a guy called Josh from England, I think is his name. And he's an English guy who comes over to America to do stuff. And he loves England because that's where he's from, but he also loves America. And he wanders around. He's trying to hit as many states as he can, and pointing out the things that he likes, but also the heat. He's just like, how are you not sweating in all the parts that you shouldn't be sweating in all the time? I don't understand. So yeah, check him out. Yes, Michaela. He's an interesting fellow. He's pretty funny. Well, yeah, I mean, all the English people know each other. I'm pretty sure. How big could it be over there? I mean, seriously. All right, so Kinnels. I do like the idea that being boring is a sure way to get them to ignore you. But, yeah, we'll have to see. That could be an interesting way to get out of a charm effect or have the thing not notice you. Just try to be as boring as possible so you can get to your friend around the kennels. Let her wander around lost. He's a sympathizer. He shall be hunted down. They completely ghost Erudi. No, you just go up to him and go, pss, 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 pss. Isn't that pss, 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 pss? Right? That's how you do it, right? That's how you attract a cat. That's what I've heard. I'm pretty sure that's the lore. I gotta put that in here. I better not write that. I was to say, if anyone tries to attract the attention of a kennel by saying piss, 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 it makes them fly into a blind, unconscionable rage. I'm not going to put that in there. Piss, piss, piss. That's just called incontinence. Yeah, there we go. I was up in the kitchen earlier on my phone because I was checking a delivery time for something. I had my elbows on the counter and I was checking the phone here and I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden I felt something go and grab a hold of my hair. I'm like, what the heck? And Cricket had jumped on the counter. She can get to the counter now. She jumped on the counter and she just went and grabbed my hair and was like, ah. But she's not a very big cat, but she's big enough that I was just like, okay, what do I do now? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I took this little neon green mouse that has catnip in it that was there, and I was like, how do I get this? So I grabbed it with my toes and picked it up, handed it to myself, and I was just like, bah, and threw it across the counter. And she leapt away from me, was like, yay, I got it, and slid right off the counter to the floor, just kaboom. And then came around the corner, like looking at me like, blinking her eyes. I'm like, you did it, not me. Dork. But I didn't have to go pss, 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 to attract her. All I had to do was kneel down, so my hair was hanging down, so she thought it was a toy. Cats are so smart, especially when they're young. There's a short for anyone confused. There you go. Pss, pss, pss. The proper way to call a cat. Right, Erudi? If you're here. One last little piece here. Okay, this is that. Okay. All right, I'm going to move away from the hairless or the kennels for the moment because I want to do a couple of other things here. So I'm going to work on some of the stuff for the chrysanthemums. I'm trying to come up with another name for them, or not a name, but like a title, because like he has for the hairless kennels, they're corrupted fey mischief makers or something like that. And so, you know, the kennels are normal fey mischief makers. I have the coastal wormlings. I call them maritime miscreants right now because they are basically trouble. I'm trying to think of what the chrysanthemums is kind of like subtext, like the idea of like what would people classify them as, like a I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out. You'll dilate and encapsulate and basically boil down the little kernel of what it would be into a word or two. Just act natural. Yeah, well, the cats do something intentional or something clumsy like that and pretend it was intentional. Like, yeah, totally. You know you loved it, yeah. Adorable, that's a classification. Yeah, and it could be. There could be adorable somethings. Let me swap this over to Is that the one? Am I doing it? Am I in this document right now? No, I think that's the wrong one. This one? Yeah, this is the right one. I got a few different documents open. I have a lot of documents open, actually. And if you don't remember what the Chrysantosaurus looks like, here you go. This is a little piece of AI art that JT made. And now, one of the things that Erudi suggested that I'm still trying to digest how that would work is that when they're running through underbrush and things like that, here, I can put it back up if people want to see it again. They're running through underbrush. You know how raptors move through things? And, you know, they're big raptors running through big fields of reeds and stuff. And you just see corn stalks and reeds and stuff moving. These things are running through underbrush, but, you know, they're a little creature. All you see is the little curls, just the little curls running around. That he mentioned that they're notorious for abducting gnomish children. I'm like, huh, how would that work out to keep them adorable? So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure that one out. Ankle biters, dino nuggets. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm in the wrong section of my notes here. All right. Get back up to here. Yeah, because then the children, they steal gnomish children, and they're morbidly called the chrysanthemum mums. Yeah, I'm like, huh, that might be a little far in my mind. My moth steals souls now. He was stolen as a child by Chrysantosaurus. Oh. Do they spit paralysis poison or something? Not sure yet. They abduct jelly beans. Ah! Poor Chrysanth. She's become like a monster that eats children now. An adorable little monster that eats children. She does eat children like Granny Elder. Seems accurate. I wouldn't put it past Chrysanth, Hansel, and Gretel some kids. Wow. Yeah, Crescent, making kissy noises at cat seems to work pretty well. They just gravitate towards it. Occasionally, I'll make a little, or a, but some cats find that to be like startling, and they don't like it. Apparently, you're really evil. Tyrannosaurus. Wow. Wow. Huh. Huh. Evil mind behind HOAs? What? Oh no, Gino, why? That's just a different kind of evil. That's wow. I know. See, Chrysanthemum even agrees. She's like, she's not that evil. That's like an extra level of bureaucratic evil. All right, so small chicken-sized raptors have prowled many biomes across Erudia, favoring areas with low scrub cover and plentiful water. They're cunning hunters and fishers, patiently waiting immobile. Or immobile. Yeah, and trying to figure out how I want to work that in there. I'll put this down in the behaviors, behavior and society, abilities and powers. There we go. Oops. I typed the word well. I type all the best words. So they can remain motionless for hours. So Chrysanthrosaurs can remain motionless for hours, waiting for their prey to approach and get complacent. Their natural camouflage, hiding them from even the most perceptive of animals. While they're small and flee at the sight of most races and larger animals, nomad societies often have to deal with these merciless predators. Merciless predators! Their calls can sound like childish laughter, and their... Oops, I gotta type that right. Their curly heads of feathers resemble the untamed mops of gnomish children, whom they often lure away from unwary villages. Ooh. Scary and horrifying. They need to be an ingredient in the nuggets of knee? Ah, that'd be kind of funny. Oh, I saw it, Daxie. I'm like, no, nah, that's a little... that one's a little, that makes it even more, like, weirdly, like, Hansel and Gretel deliberate, like somebody said. This way, they're luring them like an animal, like, oh, I'm making noises. Oh, it made a little thing run out in the bushes. Now let's eat it. Poor Moss. Merciless predators the size of a chicken. Well, and that's why I was like, I'm putting merciless in there because they're just like, eat, eat, eat. It's just the thing. They want it. But I'm trying to decide how to kind of rope all this together. That's why I write everything out and then I come back and like massage the language to kind of get a unified whole. Because I want them to be mostly focused on, like, you know, crustaceans and shellfish and things they can find in the shallow waters, things they can crack open and eat because, you know, I made them, you know, they go out and fish. Because, I don't know, there's something I heard about somebody named Crescent who goes fishing for crustaceans. Huh. Eh. So they're really good at it, and they do that. But this is also something else they do. So I'm trying to decide if instead of that wording, because the other wording I wrote down next to it was they're peckish, not to be, you know, peck, but they're usually a little bit hungry. Oh, what was that? By the way, I forgot to show you guys this other thing. I wasn't going to show this, but I did an AI thing at one point. I showed this to Chrysanth, and I shared it with Erudi at one point. I'm trying to see if we can make this into something. You guys want to see the AI picture I made of flesh meat? It disturbed Chrysanth when she saw it. They only eat fish on Fridays. Oh, there you go. All right, here we go. Here's flesh meat. And don't ask me why he's chasing down so many vegetables, but there he is. Here, we'll... Good God. Flesh meat. He's a flesh golem. He's literally made of meat. I tried to make it as disturbing as possible. There we go. I think I did that one in Midjourney. I think it wasn't Stable Diffusion. I don't remember. I did one in one of the programs that I was playing around with. Eat fish on Fridays. That's funny. haddock today, so it checks out. Nice. Chrysanthosauruses. Okay, physical appearance. Let's get into the physical appearance of these things. I wish Chrysanth Mom was here. I bet she has lore ideas. Oh no. All right, Daxi, later. You have fun out there. Not too much fun, just a little. Some. A proper English amount of fun. All right, we're gonna put them being a possible ingredient in the nuggets of yeah, whatever it is. All right, let's move this over so we get that indented properly. No comment. Very good, Chrysanth. Very good. That's a very wise thing to do. Okay, raptor-like teeth and claws. Predatory nature is masked somewhat by their adorable appearance, including a crown of curly feathers atop their heads. Oops. All right, there we go. Eyes. There we go. We don't need your comments, only hers. Oh no. At least Chrysanth AI isn't here, right? Right. Water. Let's see. All right, so I'm basically putting down that chrysanthemums, they travel in packs, kind of like raptors do. Makes sense. Little pack of raptors, little chicken raptors. Though they flee at the sight of most animals and beings larger than them. Self-preservation. The exception to this is when their lairs are threatened, or lairs nests are threatened. When this occurs, they group up and fight in much larger packs. These defensive swarms, while short-lived, have been known to take down much larger foes in a matter of moments. So, yeah. So you do not want to have a swarm of chrysanthemums on you. You do not want this happening. Their call sounds like mort mort. No, no. Their call is supposed to be like these little childlike sounds, like little things that would sound kind of. I'm horrible at voices, but something that could sound like not necessarily 100% childish laughter, but like a repeated little sound that sounds kind of like something sort of maybe mimicking a laughter or something. But can you imagine like 50 of these things making that noise all at once and just charging at you like, oh no, I'm gonna get killed by toys. They're so adorable. Run. Man, could you imagine a pack of these little things just charging at like a, I don't know, a wolf or even a person who got too close and just see him like get buried in little chrysanthosauruses. Their call is Kitty. Little dinosaurs from Jurassic Park 2 swarmed the little girl on the beach. Yeah, you know, these things are just going to be like, rawr. Luckily, they can't fly. They're flightless. So we'll have to put that there's a legend of a flighted one. So at the moment, I have either they're called chrysanthemums, adorable ankle biters, or chrysanthemums, adorable abductors. They don't really abduct the children because I think they just eat everything. So I think ankle biters is a little better. Whoever came up with those is a genius. You're right, Savage Talk. Hey, Savage Talk, by the way, I found something out. I went onto the Discord for Vane. The reason that you couldn't craft is because they have a desync error with their multiplayer. Me, being the host, I can craft things on the bench just fine. And I can see them for some reason. So I should be able to craft parts. So, yay. Vulnerable to psychic damage from puns. I don't even know how you get that across. How would somebody learn that? And why would they be upset by puns? I don't know. A woof. Yes, when a whole swarm of chrysanthemums coming up against a woof. A woof. Right. A woof. A wolf, a woof, a wolf, a wolf. All right, these little dudes. All right. Yeah. All right, so I've got a whole bunch of stuff on the chrysanthemums. I got a whole bunch of things written down. I got my notes on my other sheet over here that you guys don't see. David Sane hearing. Oh, there you go. So the last thing that I was doing was I'm playing around with the idea of those little wormlings. The coastal wormlings. So I'm going to play around with these guys a little bit. And this one is much more just whatever the heck we want to come up with here. So I did a couple of pictures and a few different things just to play around with it. An idea. Oh, by the way, JT, I did an AI picture of flesh meat as a flesh golem made of meat. And here you go, JT, if you haven't seen it. There's flesh meat. I want to see him literally come after somebody somewhere. A big meat golem. Get that thing off screen. All right, there we go. Flesh meat's gone. Flesh meat is gone. Flesh meat bad. What's wrong with flesh meat? Why you don't want to play with flesh meat? Matriarchal society serving the queen. Aha, that's a good point. Let me do that real quick. Okay, there we go. Got that note on there. He just wants to be your friend. Here you go. One more glimpse. Just for you, Dave. Flesh meat. All right. So the other thing that I'm playing around with here to keep flesh meat off the menu, boys, is I'm playing around with these idea of these little coastal wormling things. He only wants to share his meat with you. I don't know what he's doing. So these little guys were, and these are too big. I want them to be a lot smaller because they're supposed to be. Oh, I resized the wrong one. They're supposed to be about the size of seagulls. Made a Vane multiplayer server, got a full bar and grill to start in a long new van. Oh, nice. So did you actually create it on a service or something, or did you just do the same thing I did, Savage Talk? If so, you'll have to let me know if you want me to hop on there with you. So these are supposed to be these little aquatic dragons. Like I said, they're supposed to be about this long, not this big, huge things. Okay. And I want them to be basically those little nuisance creatures that if you leave anything alone, they swoop down and grab it. They can only glide, really. They can't fly. So they get up on rocks and glide down into the villages and then, dump into the water and then come back out somewhere else. Oh, okay. Same everything. Okay, cool. So this is what I'm playing around with right now. I kind of like the little farm or the fishing village. It's a good idea in a head for me, or in my head, to have like kind of like idea of like kind of rustic stone, like a medieval kind of crappy stonework, but they're like, hey, it's together, it works. We got beams and we got stuff in it. That's fine. Okay, so they're opportunistic scavengers that plague most civilized coastal towns across the Godlands. I want to word this thing. Let me check this thing here. Little coastal wormlings. What are you doing here? Oh, interesting. Typed that wrong. Mini Loch Ness monsters. It's past wharfs. Gonna say something else and remember this is supposed to be a family-friendly stream. Yeah. Flesh monster, one of the cucumbers in his mouth. Why? Do you think he's a vegetarian? Good day, sir. And then not in a Willy Wonka way. Okay, history eraser button. Good day. You win nothing. Wait, why is this complaining about this word? But I hate it when Word is doing stuff like this. It's just so stupid. Yeah, it's dumb. Okay. Thanks. All right. And I have them being able to not only swim, because they can swim, poke their little heads up and be swimming like otters, but also can, jump up out of the water onto rocks. But when they get up onto the rocks, if they're sunning themselves on cliffs and rocks and things up here, they just lay there basking and waiting. And then if, somebody, brings fish in, or if there's a fishing boat out, they're all just kind of like suddenly like, squirrel suit, diving after it and splashing down in the water to try and follow them and splashing in and out of the water following the boats, which of course is really fun for the fishermen. So they probably have a habit of like throwing chum and stuff to get them away from the boats while they're in the middle of it, but it's possible they have some other ways of keeping them away as well. We'll see. Just like seagulls, exactly. So yeah, they're gonna be annoying, and they have little cries and all that fun stuff. It's gonna be fun. because I want to make them more. I mean, they're going to be a nuisance, but I think also it's going to be fun if they have a role and they can actually do something with adventurers and they can do something with boats and stuff. So they're not going to be all bad, but they're going to be mostly a nuisance for fishermen and things. But when they actually do these other things, and I'm trying to point out, because like on the Caustic Strand, like I've said, there's all kinds of interesting things that happened along there, and there's all these mineral deposits, and they can go in all these water and find all these things. So I think if you've ever read the lore of like the crate dragons and other things on Tatooine, and you know how pearls make oysters and stuff, that these little guys, since they're scavengers and they will eat absolutely anything that they get in their little hands on, that they often eat. And when you find one of them that has like a big I don't want to say a bubo, but like a big, you know, thing in their throat that they, you know, keep eating, and they get a big growth or something, that eventually one of them is going to be like, blah, 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 and spit out a thing that's like coated in all the goop and slime. But whatever that is that they grab, like a piece of dark magic or something, makes these little pearls. They're rare, but you can find them here and there. And so people will follow them, hunt them, try to cultivate them and stuff like that. So there's a reason people might want to be around, because if you can get a hold of one of those, it's like, ooh. So I'm trying to think of a way to make them kind of like something that people could do something with besides that. But I mean, also it's possible maybe they taste good. I don't know. I think they'd be a little more afraid of people if people started eating them. Interesting. The pearl idea, if they were eggs. And wrap boats together for extra food. No eating the sea dragons. So fantastic, sarcastic. Keep the manta ray idea in mind, because when I was talking about the Umbral Atoll, I wanted to come up with a couple of other creatures, and two of the other distinct things that I thought would be cool for that kind of that biome that could be something that players would have to interact with and deal with would be something that it's not a skate, not a manta ray, you know, that kind of bottom feeding fish or something like that. Something similar to that, that has a very different set of defenses and attacks, but sort of along that idea. So I'm still trying to figure it out, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to have one that was half squid, half manta ray. So it's a manta ray thing instead of a barbed tail. It has like a whole bunch of man of war like tentacles, but it can actually use them. I was like, ooh, that's kind of terrifying. So, yes. Strong stomach acid. I see what you're saying. Strong stomach acid. Well, they are able to exist in these caustic stream or caustic pools. that... What? It doesn't like... Okay, there we go. Why when I type fish with an S, I have to redo it? Okay, yeah, that's correct. All right, fine. I don't know. Autocorrect and Word, the spelling in this Word program is just stupid. So I turned into a zombie. You turned into a zombie? So did you get eaten by yourself then? Crunch, 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 down to the bones. Crunch, 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 eating the liver. All the parts. Manta squid would have ink attacks. S-fish. No, not S-fish. Fish with an S. Fish! The S doesn't go at the beginning, it just goes in the middle. Start over. Okay, their gliding wings are diaphanous and glitter in the sun, so when the clutch of them takes the air to descend upon a school of fish, they sparkle majestically. How about I'm like reading it going, that sounds wrong. When extended, these wigs, they don't have wigs, they have wings. So this is not a chrysanthemum with the little mop head of little curly feathers. This is wings. I kind of like the idea that, you know, people down in the village, you know, working on their nets and stuff, you know, the sun is setting or the sun's coming up and, you know, there's a school of fish moving somewhere out there and there's, you know, the waves are coming in and all of a sudden you hear the noise of all the little squeaky lizards up on the rock cliffs and you look up and just like 50 of them start running to the edge and then dive off and you see them sparkling as they fall into the water, just spush, 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 going after fish. Okay. Scavengers, they tend to congregate around the commercial fish or the coastal fishing villages and larger towns with active harbors. All right, so they tend to live in large colonies with no easily discernible hierarchy, each wormling fending for itself and its young. Seeds fit. I'm making them pretty short-lived. Short-lived little lizards. Glidey lizards that are short-lived. Boom. Hey, Levistro. Okay, little beasts tend to congregate around coastal fishing villages, large town with active harvest. They live in large colonies, no easily discernible hierarchy, normally fending for itself. Sees fits. Okay. I'm in the middle of doing something, but I'm just being quiet. Quiet. Or. So I want to remind everybody, since people were nice and did some last time, when I am done, it would be great to get some comments on the stream again. Comments are amazing. And they're fun. And they help us, get seen more. So please comment afterwards on YouTube. And like it if you didn't on the way in. Please, and please. Oh, I have to type that right. Boom. Call them glizzards. Did you talk to Erudi for a vending in our private game for every time you get 36 likes or comments? No, I didn't. Oh, man. You're thinking. I like it. So I have these wormlings can emit piercing shrieks. Have you ever heard like a crowd or whatever you call it, a stupid of seagulls? I don't know what their group name is, but I just call them a stupid of seagulls, shrieking at you when you're out fishing or in a parking lot somewhere and somebody drops some fries on the ground. These things have like an incredibly piercing shriek that they can basically just get cacophonous if you get enough of them, and it will drive away, you know, most people like, okay, I can't take this. Prey or predators will run away. But if you make the mistake on your fishing boat while you're out there of like swinging an oar or swinging a stick or like, get out of here, you little bastards, and do something like that to make them upset, they'll just start shrieking, and then all of a sudden it's just like, goodbye, fish, and you've ruined your catch. So your best bet is to just throw scraps, get them away, deal with them, do whatever, but don't try and upset them. Don't do it. Flock of seagulls. Flock of sea lizards. Slizzards. Caesards. All right, and I'm gonna not put this in here because I'm gonna write this on a different page for myself. Okay, why? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, we got a lot of fun stuff going today. This is nice. Very cool. You'll comment on non-tasty lizards. Well, and you know, that may be tasty to dragons. People probably won't eat them. They're probably like about as tasty as a grungy bottom feedy old carp or something. Flock of tasty lizards. Yeah, I mean, it's possible to dragon flying down there like a frog munching on bugs. Nom 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 nom. That would be interesting, actually. Well, I'm getting down to the hot sauce part of the coffee. It's been burning all the way down, but I got to the bottom where the hot sauce has kind of settled out a little bit. Ah, it's the flavor country of the coffee cup. Flavor country. All right. Let's see what else we got for these little guys. I wonder if they should make rocky little nests or not. What would this be? Oh my gosh, help me, somebody. What is the name of the wood that washes up on beaches? Driftwood. Like, what is it called? Like, it's all smooth and wood. All right. So I have it also down here that they build these little nests in the rocks, kind of like like mud swallows and other creatures and stuff, they use that resin that they can spit out, the things that make the little pearls that I have right now in their throat. They can use that to like get driftwood and, you know, garbage, whatever they can, and they start, you know, spitting out that stuff and, you know, patting it down and using their tail and stuff, kind of like a beaver, making these little nests in the rocks. They find a little crevice and they put the thing in there in a little opening, and they sit in there, and that's where they sleep, that's where they have their little babies. That's also where they spit out the little pearls. So think about if you went into a seagull nest and it was just this splattered, gross place that you'd have to go into. So I have the people, like, they put on heavy armor, like, you know, boiled leather and like something over their eyes and maybe a cloth mask or something to get during in there, and then go in and, you know, probably have to plug their ears from all the shrieking before they go in there and look around for pearls. These eagles. Nice. Hey, Asians eat lizards and bugs. Enter Temple of Doom. Hey, they also have, you know, some chilled monkey brains, too. Chilled monkey brains. Or Snake Surprise. Don't forget Snake Surprise. All right. Yuck, I love it. Yeah, because wouldn't that be a fun little job? You get your young teenage guys are like, hey, you guys, you don't want to go fishing today? All right, you're going to go look for pearls. They're like, oh, I'd rather go fishing. And then they have to put on, you know, their dad's set of like leather apron and armor, the earplugs, the mask, and the big piece of leather with the little slit in it, so they can like go up in the rocks with a stick and can just chase the things away and go into the nests and try to find pearls. Wouldn't that be fun? Just reach your whole arm in there. Yep. It's squishy. There's gross stuff in here. You might find a pearl. Get one. It's fun having grossness. I like it. There we go. All right, so we got a whole bunch of stuff on the Kinnels. We got a whole bunch of stuff on the Chrysanthrosaurs. I got coastal wormlings. I got some more notes taken for the creatures that I was talking about in the atoll, and they could be anywhere out in the ocean, I suppose. I'm thinking that it'd be interesting to put something in here that they could make a good familiar. I'm trying to think if they could be a good familiar. I'm going to put it in here. Because their scavenging abilities, I think, would be really cool, because they'd probably be able to, you know, be told by their master or mistress, like, go find me blah, and they'd be like, sure. Because they would have these scavenging abilities, their resistance to acid, poisons, and other harmful substances, and their ability to climb, glide, and run. And that would be an interesting thing, because if they can, you know, run on walls and stuff, or they can glide off, you can have your little lizard run into a room, climb up into a room, and just sit there and just watch everybody, and then shriek, pissing everybody off, stunning everybody. It could be fun. I like it. I like it. So, all right, we're basically almost at time here. We got a little over 4 minutes left. I'm gonna call me writing at that point. We're gonna say done. We're gonna say done with that. I'm gonna move this down, and So, like I said, please like and give a comment after this when we get done. It really helps. It's fun to see the comments, and I try, if I can, in any stream we get comments, to engage. And there you go. There's my link tree. A little later, I'll probably be going online with JT if he's going to be on as well, doing some more Vein, which is Vein. It's a zombie survival game where we're having all kinds of fun and trouble doing things. It's really exciting. So, that's where I'll be sometime after this. And then later, we've got some more shows. We got all kinds of fun stuff going on. And I think, let's see, it's Thursday, right? Yes, Thursday. And I have a private game later, so I'll be hanging out with Erudi while he tries to kill our characters. Because our party, Dave, you can attest to this, when the game is unpaused, does this. They scatter. Suddenly everybody's like gone. I was like, where'd everybody go? I'm moving my guy around. I'm like, what? Oh, you're in that room. And then the game pauses. Like, okay, so and so walked into a room. Like, oh no. It's kind of like everybody's on crack, sort of. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you for coming along for Frost Written. We got a lot of cool stuff done. We're going to keep working on more of this. I don't know exactly what I'm doing on Tuesday, but I may try and put something in the Legend Seeker channel. I'm not certain, but Erudi can tell me if this is true. If this is the last week that this is available without people who have a membership, I don't know how they're handling that or doing that, or if it's next week as well. We're still doing this for everybody. I'll let him announce and point that out to everybody. So, with all that said, I think I'm going to kick this down the road. We're going to call it done. And I'm going to go get myself some something to eat. I'm not sure what I want. I do not want fish now because now all of the fish talk. What do you guys are the reason Erudi tells Noelle to do that at Mummy's Mask? I don't know. I'm not sure. It may just be a common thing, but it kind of is. My guy doesn't do that, Chrysanth. My guy is a grumpy old oracle, so he just mostly stands in the corner when people run off and smokes his pipe until they're all like screaming in another room, and he's like, and then he goes in. Maybe. Tasty lizard sounds good. Try some. No, I'll get some tasty lizards for dinner. All right. With all that said, I'm going to get out of here. This was Frost Written. I'm Frost. We worked on Legend Seeker lore. We're going to do more of it on Tuesday again over on Geeks and Gamers Tabletop. And if you guys hop over to my Kick or Twitch or whatever thing I'm going to be streaming on tonight with Kick, you'll see me playing Vane and JT and I getting killed by zombies. It'll be great. All right. Talk to you later. Please support Legend Seeker. We love it. Love you guys. Thank you for coming along. And I'll hit the right button this time. I totally know I'm going to hit the right button because I just hit it and it'll end soon in 3, 2,